The movie begins on a deserted skating rink somewhere in Barcelona, where we see a man named Sebastian and his daughter Anna. While the two are having fun skating together, they are startled by a loud noise from outside. Immediately, they leave the scene, but Sebastian is attacked by someone with an iron rod. Just then, 3 blind people attack him and rob him of food and supplies. Sebastian notices a broken bottle on the ground and considers attacking them, but Anna signals him not to do so. After the robbers leave, Sebastian and Anna leave the area and find themselves in a desolate, dystopian world. It turns out that mysterious supernatural creatures have wiped out most of humanity, as it causes everyone who sees them to end their own life. The two then put on eye goggles covered in black paint so they won't mistakenly see the creatures. A few moments later, the duo notices a group of blindfolded people. Sebastian informs Anna that he will make sure they are good people and approaches them. He asks the gang if he can join them, but the group is concerned that Sebastian might endanger their safety. Immediately, Sebastian claims to have worked as a construction engineer and knows where to get generators. For a while, the group discusses whether they should help him, but when they hear the creature approaching, everyone rushes to their safe place, taking Sebastian with them. Soon the group arrives at the bus station, where they are hiding with other survivors, and a doctor named Liliana treats Sebastian's injuries. Later at dinner, Sebastian is taken aback when he notices a man with deformed eyes. The man reveals that he blinded himself on purpose to render himself worthless to a group of people who are much more dangerous than the creatures outside. He discloses that while most people dread the creatures, some are unaffected and can wander around the city without wearing a blindfold and are known as seers. But those who are not immune are targeted and killed by these seers. The following morning, while everyone is sleeping on the bus, Sebastian sneaks into the office area and grabs the keys and checks if it works. The ruckus waits Liliana, who tries to stop him, but Sebastian locks the driver's door and declares he's doing it to free them all. When he finally finds the correct keys, Sebastian begins driving the bus clumsily, waking up everyone inside. The group tries to stop him, but Sebastian drives through the main gates of the parking lot and gets out. However, his carelessness causes the bus to lurch forward, resulting in a devastating accident. Everyone is injured as a result, and none of them have their eyes covered. After Sebastian gets off the bus, he declares that the entity is approaching and calls it beautiful. The first guy is taken aback, and when he sees the creature, he kills himself. And Sebastian notices how a light departs his body. Liliana and the others come out with their eyes closed, but Sebastian urges them to open them to see the creature. Soon enough, all of the survivors, except Sebastian, kill themselves one by one, using various violent methods. Sebastian turns out to be a seer, who believes this creature is a divine deity, who is rescuing humanity by killing them. Just then Anna, who we now realise is dead, takes Sebastian's hand and tells them that he has done the right thing by liberating these souls. The scene then shifts to 9 years earlier, when Sebastian was an engineer working on expanding the number of windmills in Barcelona. While speaking with his junior, Sebastian receives a call from his assistant, notifying him that his employees have been jumping into turbines, one by one, for no apparent reason. Confused and scared, Sebastian hurries to his office while listening to frantic news headlines about a global pandemic in which people are killing themselves. Just then, Sebastian receives a call from his wife, who informs him of the situation and asks him to pick up Anna from school. Immediately, Sebastian exits the office and observes the overwhelming panic outside. When a body suddenly falls into his car, he decides to use the subway, only to discover the creature controlling everyone and leading them to their death. Soon after, Sebastian makes it to the school and meets Anna. The two then escape the area immediately, but as they near the entrance, something outside explodes and ignites a fire. With this, they now try to depart through the school chapel and end up running into a priest. The priest claims the creature is an angel, and its divine presence prevents people from looking at it. Later, Sebastian and Anna arrive at their home, where his wife is waiting in her car, ready to leave the city, but amid the chaos, she is suddenly run over and killed by one of the cars on the street. In the present, Sebastian and Anna stop by the church for a quick prayer. Sebastian believes that doing these creatures' work will help him reunite with his family. Later on, Sebastian notices a blindfolded woman named Claire entering a store. He tries to attack her, but is stopped by Claire's friends, who also have dogs with them. Sebastian convinces the group that he is an innocent man who has been robbed. Furthermore, the man claims that he knows where the generators are located and asks them to take him in their group. Soon the group takes Sebastian to an underground bomb shelter. The group consists of Rafa, Octavio, a married couple named Roberto and Isabel, Claire, and a little German girl named Sophia. Sebastian informs the group that he is alone, while Anna keeps appearing and advising him that he should make everyone get out of there. Later, when the group keeps asking about the location of the generator, Sebastian finally admits that he lied to them because he did not want to be alone. As a result, the others begin to scream and punch him, but Sophia intervenes to stop them. Then, Sebastian, who speaks a little German, talks with Sophia, which surprises the others. Sophia reveals that she was on a vacation with her mother at the time of the mass killings. She also reports hearing a transmission about a mountain castle that is thought to be the safest place from the creature. She then draws an image of the castle and the gondola that connects to it. Isabel deduces from the drawing that Sophia is referring to Montjuic Castle. Now, after a brief discussion, the group eventually decides to visit Montjuic Castle in the hopes of finding food and safety within the castle walls. They begin their journey to Montjuic in the morning, pausing only once to get a map. Another flashback shows Sebastian 8 months ago when he is using the voice from his GPS to take him to the hospital. There, he requests a doctor for Anna, who has a fever. Suddenly, everything begins to float, and Sebastian is forced to return to his apartment without a cure. In the prison, the group decides to stop their journey for the night, and Sebastian notices Anna following them from a distance. That night, while everyone is sleeping, he unties the dog's leashes. The next morning on the streets, the creature suddenly attacks the group while using the voices of their deceased loved ones. As everyone becomes confused and distracted, the leash breaks and the dogs flee. Rafa, who is upset that his dogs have run away, opens his blindfold to look for them and dies almost immediately. And when Roberto tries to find Rafa, he is also bitten by one of the dogs. Moments later, Octavio finds a house and blows his whistle, allowing everyone to follow him inside. After treating Roberto's wound, the group discusses what the creature said to them. Octavio believes the entity is a quantum being, dwelling within a shifting compound and capable of reading human emotions, notably fear and grief. This causes Sebastian to have doubts, and when he realizes Sophia won't stop crying, he gives her Anna's necklace. We then witness another flashback of the priest and his disciples on the streets, forcing people to open their eyes. Sebastian, on the other hand, does his best to protect Anna from the sound of death by keeping her in the apartment with music blaring. When Roberto's wound swells up, Octavio, Claire, and Sebastian look around the apartment for medication. Sebastian sees Anna again in her room with an open window and urges Octavio to come over, claiming the window is closed. Octavio appears while uncovering his eyes and encounters the creature, causing him to kill himself. However, Sebastian is surprised not to see the dazzling light this time. Now Anna asks him to remove Claire's blindfold as well, but confused Sebastian hesitates to do so. They then return to the couple, and Claire gives Roberto an antibiotic she found in the bathroom, while Sebastian questions if he is doing God's work or being manipulated by the devil. The following morning, the remaining survivors continue their journey through the city to Montjuic Castle. However, their path is suddenly stopped by a seer on a bike. The group attempts to flee, but the seer strikes Roberto and Isabel, causing them to fall. And with no way out, the couple lowers their blindfolds and kisses one final time before dying together. Meanwhile, Sebastian takes Claire and Sophia into a secure structure. At that moment, Claire realizes that Sebastian's goggles aren't truly dark, revealing that he's a seer who murdered the others. She takes Sophia with her to the top of the building, while Sebastian, who's continually pressured by Anna's spirit, follows. Claire and Sophia rush upstairs to the roof, but Sebastian corners them and pushes Claire before going for Sophia's blindfold. But before he can remove it, he sees Anna again, who is bleeding. This makes him feel guilty, and Sebastian ends up hugging Sophia instead. In another flashback, we see the priest's cult invading Sebastian and Anna's home. The priest then takes Anna to the roof and compels Sebastian to watch while he forces her to look at the creature. After seeing the creature, Anna jumps off a building roof, instantly killing herself. Since Sebastian witnessed such a traumatic event, he does not kill himself when he sees the creature. Instead, he joins the priest in focusing others to look at the creature as well. Back in the present, Sebastian saves Claire, and to regain her trust, he tells her about Anna and explains that he has finally snapped out of it, and promises to protect them. Although initially hesitant, Claire eventually believes him when he fights one of the cult members. Then Sebastian manages to jump into a car and drives them as quickly as possible to the tramway. However, the priest and his followers begin pursuing them across the city. Sebastian drives while ignoring Anna's ghost, and when they reach the cable car tower, they abandon the car and Sebastian causes it to explode, killing a few seers who catch up to them. He then bids Sophia and Claire goodbye, asking them to board the tramway while he distracts the cult members. As Sebastian and the priest argue, Claire carries Sophia up the old stairs. Sophia nearly falls through a broken step, but Claire catches her just in time. At this point, Claire realizes she can't do this blindfolded, so she decides to take a chance and remove hers. Just then, she notices a big bell next to the tramway and decides to ring it, thinking it could be of some help. Suddenly, the creature appears and the entire environment, including the cable cars, begins to quiver. However, Claire manages to resist the entity's psychological attacks, especially the haunting voice of her dead brother, and hops into the tram with Sophia. Meanwhile, Sebastian sees Anna enter the burning car and attacks her, only to discover it is a priest and stabs him with an iron rod. The priest also stabs Sebastian, and both men continue to thrust their weapons into one another, refusing to let go. The priest eventually dies, as does Sebastian, but not before he sees the cable cars moving, letting him die in peace, knowing Sophia and Claire are saved. Moments later, Claire and Sophia arrive at the castle and are met by troops. The entire Montjuic castle appears to have been transformed into its own village, with military soldiers in charge of security. Moments after, Sophia is reunited with her mother, and Claire is taken to the doctor. Later, Claire is tested to ensure she is not a seer, but she states that they would not have survived without one, implying that she is grateful for Sebastian's sacrifice. The doctor says that intense stress, such as trauma, loss, and violence, can alter a person's DNA, which is why some people join the creature's cult rather than kill themselves when they encounter it. In the final scene, we see two soldiers using rats to test their resiliency to the creature, while a captured seer watches everything from a chair, pleading to see the entity. The soldiers confess that their efforts have yielded a 48-second tolerance to the creature, and that they are striving to achieve the 1-minute milestone. The experiment, however, fails, showing that humanity has a long way to go before becoming immune to the threat.